How to do a self-care plan. That's our topic today, and it's important, especially if you're in recovery, to have a really good self-care plan, so stay with us. Now, if you have yet to subscribe, please hit that button. And if you have a question, put it in the box. We'll get back to you, so stay with us as we discuss how to create a self-care plan. How to create a self-care plan. Now, this is really important, especially if you're in recovery, if you're the partner of an addict of some kind. If you are the addict, it's good to have self-care, but it's really important that you stay on your addiction recovery plan before you get into some of this. But let's just talk through the basics of self-care. First of all, why is it important? It's important because you're important. I'll never forget one time I met a therapist and she wanted to increase her business and blow it up and all this kind of stuff. And I don't mind consulting, so this was back in probably late 80s, early 90s, and we still had these paper calendars we would drag around. We didn't have cell phones. And I said, well, let me see your calendar. And she was booked like from 8 to 6, 8 to 9. I mean, it was crazy, the whole schedule, even on Saturdays. I go, where are you on your calendar? And she literally started to cry. This is like a 60-year-old woman. She goes, I'm not on my calendar. I go, okay. You can't grow anything if you're not on your calendar. And so we had to talk about self-care. So let's talk about self-care in different categories, okay? Physical self-care is usually the thing you first talk about, and it has its value. You know, look at how you're doing as far as, do you need to make any changes in your eating? That would be great. You know, cut carbs or, you know, limit eating after a certain time of day, drinking more water, whatever you need to do, okay, that's fine. But self-care also includes, are you taking care of yourself? You know, for ladies, getting your hair done, your nails done, you know, all that stuff. Are you getting adequate touch, healthy touch? You know, getting hugs from your spouse, like that kind of stuff, being touched by them. Are you getting your cardio needs met? And you need to use your body. Your body will age way more if you do not use it. It was created to work. All these things we have created for work. So even if it's 3 times a week, get on the treadmill or go for a walk, get outside, walk your dog, walk your kids, walk your spouse, you know, walk with God. It doesn't matter. Get out, do something for at least 30 minutes, get your cardio, get your heart rate up, do that. And some mild strength training is great to do for yourself over the course of your life. It's healthy to have physical activity and good nutrition. Also, make sure you're taking care of all your medical issues because it's better to take care of them earlier. So that you would make a plan for. And when I get done, I'm going to tell you how to really help this plan come to life and how to make it work. Because we all have done the January, I got to lose 10 pounds, or I got to get a better job, or I got to do this. I'm going to promise I'm never going to do that. And we failed within weeks. I want to help you have a self-care plan you can actually stick with. Now, after physically, okay, let's talk about socially. How about meeting with friends? I'm amazed at how many people have no regimen socially. It happens if the other person initiates. They don't initiate in any relationships. They don't call people to get coffee or go hang out or go work out together, go for a walk together, go fishing together, go to a game together, go to a dance recital together, you know, whatever gender you are, whatever you're into, okay? But how are you doing there? Maybe once a month, set a goal for having some time with a friend, maybe twice a month. If you're a couple, you can do it as a couple, but also look at your own social. How often do you sit across the table from someone of the same gender and just say, how's it going? You know, let's stay in touch. Let's stay connected over the next maybe 20 years. We've lost that in society, but it's so important to be social. Spiritual, what are your spiritual disciplines, regardless of your faith belief system? Do you have a time to pray or meditate? Do you have a time of reading spiritual truth of scriptures? Do you have a time where you pray or worship? Do you have a community of faith that you go to on a regular basis? Do you have spiritual leaders in that community that you can trust? What are your goals there? But taking care of yourself spiritually is important. Even if you have no spirituality, that would be your goal, to seek it out. To go to some church or other religious organization to read the scriptures or something that moves you in the direction of spiritual searching. because you're a spiritual being, whether you want to be or not, whether you believe you are or not. It's like, sometimes we're silly. It's like people saying, well, we're not physical beings. Okay, but you are. We're not social beings, but you are. We're not financial beings, but you are. And you're spiritual as well, so take care of that. So that's important. So we talked about physical, social, spiritual, okay? Also, look at your needs financially. Are you planning for the future? Are you saving money? Are you investing? Are you creating a debt schematic where you're going to be broke your whole life? If you're in a spiritual community, are you tithing? These are these are financial principles that you need to look at if you're engaging in them. If you're just working, making money and spending it, you are on a cycle of poverty. So you don't want to do that. What are your financial disciplines that are going to get you ready for the next chapter in your life? Whether that's getting an apartment, getting a house, getting a second house, getting a vacation, or buying a boat or a motorcycle or a car, whatever it is. Saving money for your kids' college, saving money for your own college. What it is that you need to be doing financially, having goals around that. And if you're married, what's your sexual compatibility as far as frequency? Talk to your spouse, get those needs met as well. Now, if you're in recovery from addiction, part of your self-care should be support groups, phone calls, materials related to the addiction you're recovering from, things like that. Now, this is generally what a self-care plan looks like. But so what if I write it all down? And I would encourage you to, after this, you watching this, to write down some of what you think you need to do to take care of yourself. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're saying you're not worth it. And then other people are going to treat you like you're not worth it. And you're going to wonder why you keep surrounding yourself by people who treat you like you're not worth something, because you don't think you're worth something based on how you're taking care of you. Because if you abandon you, other people will abandon you. If you think you're worthless, other people will think you're worthless. They will agree with you. Now, if you have value, people will treat you as if you have value, because you're treating you as if you have value. So you can do this one of two ways. If you're generally good in 2 or 3 areas, keep those going, and then focus on one you're not good on. I would say focus on one at a time for a good month. And here's the turning point. Make yourself accountable to someone in that area. And make yourself accountable to someone who's good in that area. Don't make yourself financially responsible to someone who makes less money than you, okay? Don't make yourself physically responsible to someone who's in worse shape than you, because they'll give you slack for not showing up. Get with someone who's stronger than you in an area, get accountable to them. You can call them a couple times a week or every day, depending on what your disciplines are. And then what you do is you set a consequence. If you're not reaching that goal, you do X, leg lunges for half a mile, clean the house, eat a raw onion, give money to someone you don't like, do a Stairmaster for an hour, whatever. But do something as a consequence. You have to train yourself that your emotions are not the way you're going to do your life. And just because you don't feel like going to the gym, feel like saving money, feel like meeting a friend, doesn't mean you don't need to. So get accountable to someone, let that person know what your consequence is, and if you do not succeed, then do the consequence. Instead of setting a goal, there's no consequences for not achieving it, and repeating, setting a goal, you get the idea. It's time to take care of you. You're worthy of that. So please, don't let this be a YouTube that was just, oh, that's cute information. Write down some goals when you're done here. If you need help, you need counseling, you can always call our office and get some help if something's not, you're stuck somewhere, you can't figure out why. Okay, if you got trauma or addictions and they're keeping you from taking care of yourself, you can call and take care of that. You deserve the best you, but you have to act like you're the best you. So take care of you, get a self-care plan, get accountable, get a consequence, and have a much better life. It's based on principles and not just how you feel. Please do that for yourself. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have a question about this or anything, please put it in the box there and we'll get back to you.